What's up, guys? Crypto Choice. We're back, Sean and Nick. Today we're gonna be talking about Bitcoin futures, right? It's what everyone's talking about right now, right? Nick's gonna kind of go through run through of what it is, and then I'll be talking about our projections. But tomorrow's the big day, so
yeah, the 26th is kind of a big day that everyone's been waiting for in the crypto community because if you've been following, you'd see that in mid-December, I would say, Bitcoin futures was kind of thrown into the market, and it was a huge big uprising in the price of Bitcoin, and it kind of, in a sense, it was already going up, and it just kind of made it go up even more with the whole Bitcoin futures thing.
If you look right here, on December 11th was the first day that Bitcoin contracts came out. So we saw, this was the market normally, right? It kind of dropped. Right when futures came out, right, we had this huge run up. So Nick will kind of talk about why.
So Bitcoin futures, with anything, as soon as anything crypto goes public and kind of goes into like a mainstream media, I would say, you always see like a big run up in price. Even if you look at some altcoins, like when they release different ideas or different like platforms that they're trying to jump into, and they're kind of starting to throw out there, you'll see a spike in the price, which
consumer confidence.
Consumer confidence is huge, and futures was really big because it was the first time that Wall Street and cryptocurrency have kind of correlated in a sense and worked together. So a future contract, all it is you see it in different places as well, like with Wall Street or with the stock market. You just the term that they used was betting on Bitcoin, because in a sense all you're doing is it's like a future contract is a way for like a big whale, as we like to call them, people that are huge in like the crypto community or in the Wall Street community as a whole, to use their money in a sense to gamble. And a lot of people, they were either betting for or against Bitcoin, and what that would do is they just made these contracts saying, oh, Bitcoin will be X price at X time, and in this window you can see here, if you show them like the window that it's been until now, they would buy and sell these contracts in a sense to kind of make some money, or a lot of people also lost money in how they projected that Bitcoin would go. And if you want to touch on like how you think that would affect like the market as a whole, and why this day is like so big in the community.
Yeah. So first off, we're gonna get right into it. As Nick was saying, right, on the 11th of December, right, Bitcoin futures was released. The stock market had this huge consumer confidence, like we were saying. So this, everyone was betting big on Bitcoin, like, oh, we're gonna dump our money into it. We can, buy high contracts. It skyrocketed, right? Hit all-time high of 20,000, right? And then what happened was, or what everyone theorizes, is basically all these whales or all these really smart stock people said, well, I have X amount of Bitcoin, really large amounts, right? It's called market power, when someone has enough of something that they can manipulate the market, okay? So what they started doing was they started betting really low. And as you can see here, this is probably when everyone got smart and said, why don't I just bet low and sell on my Bitcoin, right? And let the market drop. So that's what they did, right? They bet low, the market dropped, right? So they bet like 12,000, right? And then they bought back Bitcoin, okay? So they sold the contract, made a bunch of money, they bought it back the Bitcoin, right? And then people did the same thing, right? I think it was around December 30 or January 2nd, maybe, the first contract expired, okay? And then we had this other natural run up, right?
Yeah.
Hit around 17, and then contracts came back in, right? Everyone bet low, and the market just kind of dipped. It's been like this, as everyone knows, for a couple weeks. But like Nick was saying, on the 26th tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time, Bitcoin futures expires. Okay, that's the last expiration. There's also one on the 31st, but that's just like the final like terminal of it. But they're not really around anymore. So we have a couple theories on what's going to happen. I'm going to be touching on why I think personally it's going to skyrocket. I think, Nick, you're talking about maybe going low.
Yeah. And, one of the big things to note here that we believe is just kind of like a theory on things, but it's actually a huge deal, is that the price that they're determining the Bitcoin on is not the price that is shown on Binance or any of these exchanges or anything. It's actually, they're basing the price upon the Gemini auctions that are held. So all these prices that you're seeing on here, that's not what they're basing the price on for any of these contracts. It's actually the price that's held at the auctions, which in a sense we theorize that it kind of leaves this room for like a lot of for the whales to kind of like manipulate the market and stuff. Because if you have enough people at the auction that are all on like the same consensus and want to get Bitcoin at this certain price, then they can. I kind of use the terminology of like the 1% as the same as in real life. It's the same in cryptocurrency. You have this 1% of people that hold all this Bitcoin, hold all in a sense now they just hold all this market power, and they can kind of do what they want with the market. But if you want to touch base on what you think that futures contract is going to do.
So tomorrow morning, I think what's going to happen is we'll have maybe a day where people don't really know what's going on. I think, the price might stick around 11. It might drop down to maybe 9. It's probably the lowest. I think that's the lowest floor that we're going to have. But in my opinion, because there's no whales, there's no one on Wall Street that wants Bitcoin to fail at this point, is that I think it's going to be a natural pump. All right. It might take a little bit, but in my opinion, I think the market itself, obviously, as well as Bitcoin, is just going to go up from here. Right, I think it's going to be on the same track as this, where we were just, every couple of weeks it was going up another grand. And I definitely think at the price that it is now, around 11,000, that if we, get the natural pumps that we're already having around $33 billion a day flowing through the market, that Bitcoin is just going to go up. Right, there's no need for people to want Bitcoin price to go down. On the lines of consumer confidence, I think it's going to be a little different. I know that Robinhood, right, just added Ethereum and Bitcoin,
which is huge.
Yeah, which is huge. Which everyone, if the stock market, which has a huge market cap of like $16 trillion, gets on Bitcoin or Ethereum or any type of cryptocurrency, obviously there's going to be a run up because that's a lot more money being pumped into it.
I just think with any mainstream
mainstream
media is huge as far as cryptocurrency. If you look back at any of the big jumps in cryptocurrency with any coin or any token, it kind of was attributed to some sort of mainstream media, whether it was Twitter, Instagram, like social media, whether it was CNBC kind of doing an article or something on TV about it. It kind of spiked a lot of these jumps, I would say, as far as in crypto as a whole, just because I feel like in crypto right now we're still what we're going to talk about in future videos is just we're still in the earlier stages. People think that they've missed out, and I know we kind of thought that for a minute too, but looking at the charts and everything and just seeing how if you look at what's the market cap for the stock market, I would say around
16 trillion.
And if you look at crypto, we're only at about 500 billion, I would say, right?
Billion, not even.
And I just think that there's so much room for growth, and that it's definitely not too late, and we're going to see huge jumps in the near future. And then maybe it won't be in the near future, but in the future, I'd say that everything's just going to keep going up. But you just got to kind of ride the wave of all these dips and keep holding, as we say.
Yeah. So obviously we might not be correct, right? We're not financial advisors. We say every video. The market, it could boom in the next couple of days. It also could dip like crazy because all these big whales have no reason, to make it go high.
My theory about the futures contracts is I believe that tomorrow morning and a couple of days going forward, I think we're going to see a huge dip. I think that Bitcoin might start floating around the floor, I'd say, on where the lowest it's been in a minute. But I believe it's all. A lot of it has to do with the future contracts and like what the big whales in the market are doing. But I also believe that once we kind of get past all this, and I believe it's kind of like this a downtrend of the sell-offs and Bitcoin futures and all that. Then people start panic selling and all that. And I believe after all that's done, though, that we're going to see a huge jump. And I think we're going to maybe reach some all-time highs again. I think mid-December is always, if you look back, and we're going to talk about it in future videos, if you look back at trends in the market, the first of the year, you kind of always see these aggressive downtrends, and people will start panic selling and everything. And then mid-December, or mid-February, it usually picks up, and I would say we're going to see a lot of growth in our portfolios, I'd say. Yeah,
personally, I'm projecting around $1 trillion by mid-February for the whole market cap. So pretty much a double gain the next month.
That's thinking very
optimistic. But you never know, right? It could take a couple months. It could take the full year.
But a trillion, I believe, is on the cusp.
In
the market.
We're early, guys. So don't worry about it. Right now, though, if you're sitting on the sidelines, good for you. You know, just wait it out.
Wait it out.
Wait a couple of days. I'm down some money, right? Everything's kind of dropping right now.
And last thing, one of the things I think that we kind of want to get out to people is panic selling is a really bad thing, because guess what? You don't lose any money until you sell.
Exactly.
So like right now we're down a little bit in our portfolios especially from where we were a couple weeks ago when we kind of got in right before this bull run. Yeah. But we know that we just have faith that it's going to go back up, and we also think that it's just going to keep getting bigger. So yeah, I would say just right now is actually a really good time to get in the market. I would say with this whole future contracts thing, I think it's going to bring the market down. And for a lot of dumb people out there, when they see it going down, they kind of get scared. But for smart people, man, for a lot of the people out there in the crypto space, you know that when the market goes down, now it's time to double down, triple down on your portfolios. So
yeah, like Warren Buffett said, right, guys? When people are fearful, be greedy, right? When people are greedy, be fearful, right? Just simple as that, right? The market goes down, buy in. There's no point not to. The market has always come back up. We're not worried. You know, we're gonna for sure be making some money in the coming months here, especially if if this huge dip goes, or if this boom comes, we'll make money either way. Yep. So we'll see what happens. But if you guys want to let us know what you think is gonna happen, down in the comments for sure. Also, guys, remember Crypto's Choice, crypto_choice on both Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up.
Instagram page low key booming
right now.
We got a couple. We're gonna start posting more and more content on there. We're probably gonna post this video on there. But yeah, man, shoot us a follow, and if anything, let's show some love on some videos, or if you want to see something, hit us up on any of these platforms. Leave a comment down below if you think that anything we said, like we said, we're not financial advisors, we're not professionals. Anything we said was wrong, or if anything you think that we need to touch on or kind of clarify. Or even just telling us like what you guys want to see, some picks, or what you think is going on in the market. If you guys want to know what we think about a certain coin, just let us know. And yeah, what do you always say, Sean?
Hey, listen, buy on red candle, sell on green. That's it. You guys will make money that way. Trust me. All right, thank you guys for watching.
Peace.